you wanted to be a flight attendant?
Become a vet so that I could cure all the animals.
I really wanted to become an actor.
I wanted to be a doctor.
It was a dream of mine, I think, up until I was even 17 or 18.
Women always just look great with their suits on.
I also remember that I wanted to be a rock star and drive a Jeep.
What do I think computer programmers do? Well, I think first of all, they make my life a lot easier.
That they drink a lot of coffee, and then that they type in a bunch of random numbers, and then eventually like magical websites appear.
So there's this big problem, you want to reach a certain goal, and the computer programmer thinks of ways to achieve that.
How can I open up an app on my phone? How does it work? How do we go from having those big Nokia phones to actually being able to interact on our smartphones? And for me, that's what for me, they're enablers.
Websites, and also does other things like hosting and make sure you can end up high in Google.
When people usually think about programming, they imagine this very complicated discipline with numbers and algorithms and mathematics all crunched together into one thing. But it turns out there is nothing magical about programming. You can think about it as cooking. It's just following your recipe with clear instructions, and if you do everything right, at the end of the day you will have your pie or your program being outputted by your computer. But what does it actually take to be able to code?
Coding is actually quite simple. All you need to do is to have persistence, determination to succeed.
Motivation. The second one is having the mental capacity of separating some abstract thoughts. And then the third one is time, I think.
The ability to not being afraid to fail.
Whatever you put in, you will get that out. It's the same, for example, if you cook.
And it's just connecting the dots, basically.
So when you're coding and you manage to center a block, or you get a function to work, or you work out a bug in a loop, then you have to really celebrate those so you have the kind of momentum to move forward.
So if coding doesn't seem to be like rocket science, how do most people actually start out their journey into programming and computer science?
The first thing I coded, it was during pre-boot camp. We were doing JavaScript, and we had to build a game where we were racing against Justin Bieber.
Clicked and see if it worked, and then if it didn't, then you had to change something. But by then you had a simple but full functioning game.
It finally looked the way it's supposed to look, and then I also showed it like to my sister and friends. Oh my God, did you do that? And then they were like so surprised, because for them, they have never considered even started coding. It's like coding for them is rocket science.
When you code, you type something up and it immediately pops up on the screen, which is really cool because you can make anything and your mind just goes leaps and bounds in whatever you want to build.
At 3-Star Network, we have a simple dream. We want to make world-class education a reality for anyone that is willing to work hard, to learn, and explore the opportunities around them. Now, we have talked too much. Let's get down to coding.